Hello and welcome to episode 72 of Pentagon for Gold, where today we are moving to a new club. Now, we actually went for the Arsenal job, but unfortunately we missed out on it. As you can see though, before we actually do that, let's have a quick look at our transfers that we've done at Sao Paulo. And as you can see, we've got a lot in the balance, a lot in the transfer budget. And we've made quite a lot of sales. I don't want to really buy anyone because I don't want to buy anyone that they don't want. I did buy a few though. So we got Tadeu, Gonzalez, Wesley, and then we got a few loanees back in, as well as even Chaos. So even Chaos is this guy, 19 years old, was the best player in the Argentinian league, so he seemed like a pretty safe bet. Jack Timms is a free signing from Borussia Dortmund. He just looked okay, and thought we might as well get him, given that he was on only asking for about 15k a week. Wesley was the guy that we signed for playing in goal. He came from Tottenham. That was £13 million. Christian Gonzalez, who you've seen before, he came from Defensor Sporting. He's a box midfielder who's Uruguayan, and he's about 7 million, I think it was. Yeah. And then we've got Jose Tadeu, who was 17 years old, was pretty much the only backup right back we could get. And it just made sense to sign him. So then sales-wise, we sold Clementino for some money. Victor Hugo Nunez went to Barcelona. That was quite a big sale for us, and I felt like I couldn't really begrudge him a move like that. Plus it freed up a couple of the foreign slots, as did Joaquin Ramos. Gustavo Mateus left for Southampton, nowhere near the money we could have got him for him last year. Franco then left to Flamengo for 23.5 million, rising to 25. He also frees up a foreign slot, so I think we've probably filled those up anyway. Yeah, Gonzalez, Chaos, and Timms all fill those up, but the club can decide what to do with them. And then Robert we sold to West Ham for 22.5 million. I've had loads and loads of bids for the likes of Rosas. I haven't had any for Minho, I don't think. Maybe one or two, but they weren't particularly interesting. And there was one other that we had some bids for. Yeah, we've had Belly has had quite a lot of bids. He's one I want to sign when I go to my new destination. As you can see, he's wanted by a lot of clubs, so it's going to be difficult. I think it's a similar situation for Rosas. Not quite as many. Arsenal, Leeds, Norwich. His preference was to go to Arsenal, and then Manuel Minho is wanted by Milan and Juventus. So, we've got a few teams to compete with at our new club for these players. But as it happens, there is already interest from one of those clubs in one of those players, and that is in Manuel Minho. So, are we going to Milan or Juventus? Let's have a look. We are going to Juventus. We've accepted the job offer. We didn't get the Arsenal job, but we have got the Juve job. We applied just in time for the interviews, did our interview, and within a couple of days, we were in the job. And actually at Arsenal, it took so long. It was about a month and a half that I had to wait to get the job, which was a bit frustrating. And even then, I didn't get the job. So we overcame Vincenzo Montella. There was also a Serbian manager, I think, we managed to beat to the job. So quite exciting to be in this job. I think Juventus is a pretty good opportunity. Got very good facilities, recruitment, 4.5-star reputation. We were second last season. We're predicted to finish second again this season, and I think we can do some good stuff. Don't know too much about the squad that we have. Looks like we've got Hannibal Mejbri. That is nice, and we'll head straight through to all of this. And yeah, we've made our signings, and this could be a challenge. Oh, that's going to be difficult. I want Rosas, Belly, and Minho, but we can only get 2 of them. Oh no, we can only get 1 of them. Oh, that's frustrating. Well, we're going to have to work out what we're going to do with this. Taking a quick look at the squad, this is going to be our formation, but we won't have these roles, we'll have completely different roles. It's back to the 4-3-3 of dreams, and as you can see, it's a reasonably old squad. We've got a few, particularly defence is quite old, with Delict and Perpetti. I wonder how Delict looks now. 10 and 10 per pace and acceleration, not bad, but it still looks like a decent player. And then we've got the likes of Alfredo Diaz, who is the star man. He looks very good, to be fair. Lots of 19s. Wants to move to a bigger club. Well, tough. And Guil, who is 4.5 star, only has 9 finishing. That's not good enough. I think he's going to be more of a winger for us. Let's see what he looks like as a winger. Looks decent. Not necessarily outstanding, but supposedly he is a world-class player, so I guess we'll keep him in. And we've got a few other players who are 4-star, but we'll have a look at them another time. We've got a Kosovan left back, Bruno Gentillini, very nice. He looks pretty good as well. And yeah, we've got some good options here. We do not have a lot of depth at all. That is pretty awful. So this is going to be a challenge at times. 75.27 million in our transfer budget, and we've got 1.81 million a week we can spend on the wage budget. That's quite a lot of money. Well, we've used it to pretty good effect, I'd say. We've used up quite a lot of money here, about £70 million plus 1 million in the wage budget, and that's having sold some players who had ridiculous wages. As you can see, we've signed Juan Jose Herrero, who at 17 is looking pretty good. He's actually at Santos Laguna at the moment. He's not going to join for another year or so. I'm not quite sure how it works because he's a foreign player. I assume that'll be next season that he is going to be needing to be registered as a non-EU player, or we might just loan him out and get him improving a bit without using up all the foreign slots that we have on a player that's not likely to start immediately. But look at him, 19 goal contributions from probably defensive mid, in the Santos Laguna team. He might have played centre mid rather than defensive mid for that team, but he's going to be awesome. He's 2-star at the moment, 5-star potential, and this guy is an exciting player. I think he's going to be a great signing for us in future if we ever really see him at his best. So if we have a quick look at the incomings, Federico Rodriguez joined before I did, and he's a bit meh. He's a free signing, so it's not too much of a problem, but I think he used up one of the non-EU slots, which was annoying. Then Hannibal joined from United, and that was a decent signing. Manuel Mino has signed. That's very exciting. 4-star current ability, 5-star potential, insane stats as always, and he started pretty well. 2 goals and 1 assist in 1 game. I think he's going to be a great signing. We did also get Fernando Belli. Now, I was a little bit worried that I wouldn't be able to get both of these guys, as well as Rosas particularly. Unfortunately, Rosas had to miss out, but because Belli has Italian second nationality, he doesn't actually count. And also, being Italian, he could become properly Italian rather than just Argentinian. And that would be quite cool, I think. It would be a nice little thing for it to happen. And we got Saul Funnel. He's on loan from Liverpool. I don't think we have to register the loanees. If we do, then I might have a few problems and they may get a bit unhappy. But I think they're fine to play for us. And he looks pretty good. He's just on loan from Liverpool for a year. He's been at Kortrijk and Wolves for the last couple of years. Also got Jose Owen from United. Not quite as good, but he'll do. You know, he's just one of those players that you bring in to get a bit of depth in the squad. Only ever played once for United, but played quite a lot for MK Dons. We also got Katic on loan from Bayern. I think he would also count as non-EU, unless maybe he might have some German in him. Yes, he does. So he's going to be able to play regardless, whatever happens. He's just another depth signing, but he's got a very nice first touch, good teamwork, technique, and balance, as well as stamina. So he's got some uses to him. We signed Lorenzo Sorrentino. He is going to be our new defensive midfielder. He looks pretty good. 3-star ability with 4.5-star potential. So this guy could be very good. He's a leading Serie A player, so he's already very good, of course. But he has potential to improve supposedly by a slight amount, but that star rating would suggest more. Then we got Alexander Frank from Burnley, who were in the Championship, but look at his stats. He's mental. 4-star current ability, 4-star potential. Even though he's not really going to improve, this guy is incredible. An elite centre-back, very fast, ridiculous balance, very good tackling, positioning. Basically all the stats you'd really want, and I think he's going to be a perfect partner for De Ligt. And if we have a look at the outgoings here, a few players left on freeze. I just realised that Ruben Diaz was here. He's very slow now, 37. I can't really begrudge us getting rid of him. 6 acceleration, 7 base. Obviously, he's got some amazing Mendel stats and some good technicals, but I think he would have been exposed with those sorts of physicals. We also sold Eddie Salcedo, who is now on 39k. I think he was on something like 340. I think we're still paying about 120 of that. But we got rid of him eventually. Couple of smaller sales. Pedro de la Vega's left. He went to Leeds. He was on about 200k, I think. And then we just got a few others that have gone for sort of mediocre fees, really. As you can see, there's quite a lot in the spent compared to sold. There just aren't that many great players in this team. At least there weren't. Now I'd say we've got a really strong squad. I couldn't find a good goalkeeper. Surikaya wanted to go, I believe. Oh, we're going to offer him a big pay rise. We can have a look at that shortly. But he wanted to go. I can't quite remember where it was. Is it available here? I think it was West Ham. And he wanted to go, but I couldn't find anyone that would replace him. And, I guess we'll just wait for another window where hopefully there'll be a great goalkeeper that suddenly appears out of nowhere who is not too expensive, because most of the good goalkeepers are either really expensive or very short. And, I just thought we were better off staying with Sarikaya for now. Well, we've had a really good start to the season, having won 5-1 against Lazio and 2-0 against Bologna. Now, today's game is against Inter Milan. This is going to be the hardest of all. Di Giacobbe in goal is ridiculous in pretty much every way, and I'm quite jealous that they have him rather than us, but I don't think he's ever going to come here because he prefers Inter Milan, and there's that rivalry there. They've also got the likes of Alexandro, who you may remember being at Flamengo, and they've got Jude Bellingham. I think Lotfi and Elbaz are both Israeli, and Elbaz is one of the ones that we signed for Guangzhou Evergrande, but that was just when we left, and for some reason he didn't play all that much there, despite the fact he was really quite good. He's a very good player, so he's going to be a dangerous one to watch out for. We're going with our strongest 11, I think. Andres, although he's mainly a defensive midfielder, can play right back, and I think he's a bit better than Kajana Hoover there. So we're going to put him there and have Sorrentino in defensive mid. Minho has got 4 goals in 2 games now, and he's just a great player, to be honest. Now this is going to be our toughest test yet. Lazio, a good team. I think they're probably predicted to finish about 5th or 6th. Not quite as good as us, but they are a good team. And Bologna weren't predicted to do much. In fact, we beat Bologna 3-0 rather than 2-0. But this is definitely the hardest game of all. I think Inter actually predicted to finish above us in the league. I think they're predicted to finish 2nd behind Napoli, and we're predicted to finish 3rd. We've started better than a lot of the other teams have, and I think we're first in the table at the moment just because we've got quite a lot of goals and a good goal difference overall. And the team's been really good so far, but it is Inter Milan building up the play early on here. We forced it back to Di Giacobbe, who clears it out, and Carpentieri finds Minho. Can he finish? Oh, that's unlucky. It was a really nice effort. Clever play to chip Di Giacobbe, but good defending, good defensive instincts from, I think it was probably Bitella. That was unlucky. De Ligt. Clearance only out to Antonelli, who finds Lotfi and exchanges passes with him. And now Pedroni on the left-hand side. Bellingham finds Noel, and he's always going to score from there. He's a very good player. He is their star man. He's a Belgian winger, but he seems to be playing up front today. And he was never going to miss from there. In fact, he is playing on the wing today. He just happened to be staying up where he was before. And doesn't look like we're playing amazingly today. All the chances really falling to Pep Guardiola's side, apart from that one chip that Migno had, which was so close to being scored. And now Frank into Gentillini. Carpentieri beats his man nicely. Looks long for Guil. It's a really dangerous cross, and there seems to be a penalty here? I'm not quite sure what for. Maybe there was a late tackle on Guil. We've got a penalty. I've got no idea what for. But, I'll take it. And Hannibal is the penalty taker here. And Di Giacobbe saved it. Oh, and he saved again from Hannibal. Proving how good a goalkeeper he is. I think Hannibal's got very good penalty stats, so that is a shame. 13 penalty taking, 10 finishing, 16 composure, so a bit hit or miss, I guess. Let's be a little bit harsh on the players. Hasn't really motivated anyone beyond what they were already. Migno's not having a great game. Sometimes that happens with him. Can be a little bit inconsistent at times, but he's not really too problematic. He's generally on it when he can be. Migno finds Guil. Can he finish? Oh, it's a great block, and Hannibal can't put it in. That is unlucky. We've definitely started to come back into the game a bit. The XG will be inflated by that missed penalty, but we're certainly coming back into the game and starting to create a little bit more. I think it's time for some subs. Perhaps Carpentieri can come off for Jose Owen, and I'd like to get Belly on at some point, but I don't think it really makes much sense in this scenario. In fact, Jose Owen's not particularly highly rated there, so we'll put a Salt Funnel, and I guess that's going to be it for now. Maybe we'll get Adjumon in shortly. Let's demand more from the boys, try and get these mentalities improved. Yeah, I think it's time. So Gentillini needs to come off. Perhaps we'll get Belly on now as a left back. Not ideal, but he'll do. And then I think Adjumon, he can go right back. He is specifically a right back, perhaps slightly better than Gajana Hoover, maybe similar level, but he's a lot younger than him. And we've got another 10 minutes or so to try and find a breakthrough. Let's encourage the boys. Hopefully that'll be enough to nick a late goal. But it looks like it might be Inter with a chance, but they've passed it short, and Hannibal's intercepted well. And he loses it, but he gets it back eventually. Oh, off the post. That's unlucky. And now Motti Elbaz able to counter-attack for Inter Milan. Great pass into Vilar, who finds Noel. And a comfortable save for Saracaya. Can we get a late equaliser? Lotfi finds Elbaz, who loses it out to Belly, and Sorrentino has lots of space to run into, but doesn't seem to be actively pursuing that space. Diaz finds Guil, and we've equalised. Yes, lads. That was a phenomenal pass from Diaz. All of our forwards and midfielders really have quite low ratings. We've not been outstanding today, but that is the quality that the likes of Diaz have in their locker. For some reason, that seems to have shot all the mentalities in our team, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense given we've just got a late equaliser. Let's hope it's not an instant winner from them, and it is. Blimmin' heck. That is awful. I'm going to berate the boys. Hopefully we can go and nick another equaliser, but that is really frustrating. Really, really frustrating to get that late equaliser and then just switch off immediately. Adjumon now able to chase down the loose ball. Looks long, only into Bertin. And Noel now, probably that is the end of things. If not another goal for Inter Milan. We're so narrow there. Don't really know what Belly was doing. And that's 3-1. Very disappointing in the end. I think on the whole, probably it's a little bit harsh on us. I'd say a draw would be fair. We didn't start great. We built back into it. We should have scored that penalty. I don't know why it was given, but it's a bit disappointing. I think it will be a bit harsh on the boys It's our first setback as a team, and it's probably not going to be a major disaster in the grand scheme of things. We are looking to win the Champions League rather than the league, but you can't really win the Champions League playing like that, or at least being as open defensively as that. That was a rather disappointing result against Inter Milan. We've got a great opportunity to bounce back in the Champions League against FC Basel. We're going with mostly our strongest 11. Funnel comes in on the right-hand side for Guil, and Hoover comes in on the right-hand side as well, but in defence. And he's replacing Sorrentino as Andres moves back into midfield in his preferred defensive midfield position. We do have quite a tough group. Juve have not done very well in this save since the start of it, really, and as a result, they were third in the rankings, and that means that we have Barcelona and Juve in our group, and Liverpool rather. Barca are doing better on this than they are in real life, and Liverpool are always dangerous. So it's not gonna be easy, this group. So this game needs to be a big win, really, just to get us sorted and at least give us a chance against those two massive teams. They have drawn against each other, which probably works out in our favour if we can get at least one win against each of them. You'd hope we'd win all our home games and beat Young Boys, or rather Basel, in every game, and then I think that would be enough to get us through, at least in second place, if not in first. But it's never as easy as you predict it in the Champions League, and often, as soon as you go away, your team's awful. So, let's hope we can, assert our dominance here against Basel, get a good start in the group, and give ourselves the best chance to progress to the knockouts. This probably isn't going to be the year we win the Champions League. The team's got too many deficiencies, not enough depth, and we're going to need some better options, particularly because now we've sold our backup goalkeeper Vizielli to, I want to say, Al-Shabaab. If Sarakaya gets injured, we are relying on a youth team goalkeeper who's 1.5 star. The goalkeeper situation in this save is pretty bleak. As I said, they're mostly really expensive or really short, and actually the ones that are affordable and I would want to sign are all South Americans, which makes it a little bit difficult for us to do our non-EU stuff. Probably next season we'll do that. We'll loan out Herrero, and we'll get. I probably want Sakar, to be honest. Aquino is also available as an option, but I do want to get Rosas in regardless of what happens. And it's an annoying rule not being able to have non-EU players, but it's one we're going to have to navigate quite a lot in this save and really prioritise who it is that we want to be our star men. Let's get Serhat Dogan on, and Belly can definitely come on. He can come on for Delict, and Frank can become the ball-playing defender on defend. And who should we get on? I reckon Katic can come on for Diaz. Just get a bit of rotation in the squad, make sure that we're fresh for the next game in the league, which is at the weekend. And everything should be dandy. Funnel finds Andres, and Diaz now exchanging passes with Andres. Hoover has quite a lot of space here on the right hand side, finds Hannibal, who goes round his man, but it's a good tackle from Vallejo. In fact, it was a cracking tackle and went out for a corner kick in the end. Looks like this is going to be a pretty comfortable game. 2 goals from Funnel, I believe, who clearly had a good game. I didn't notice too much. I was kind of talking too much to realise. But Carpentieri gets his first goal of the season with an assist from Gentillini. Nice finish from him. Nice movement and a good pass from Gentillini on the left-hand side. Hannibal's a little bit tired. He can probably cope. He's been a really useful option so far. Aside from that penalty miss, which was frustrating, he's created quite a lot. I think he got 5 goal contributions in his very first game, which is quite impressive. We'll take a closer look at him after the game, but he's quite the player. And now Serhat Dogan has scored, having replaced Funnel with an assist from Hoover. So both fullbacks have assisted their wide man, and it's now 4-0, and a very good performance all round from our semi-backup team. It's not bad, is it? Let's continue, and we'll have a quick look at Hannibal and see what he's done so far since he joined. Receiving 2.46 million, that's very nice. Suspect we have quite a lot of money in the bank regardless. Well done to Funnel, that was a really good performance. Finances, 98 million in the bank, 6 million transfer budget, and 189k for the wages. If we have a quick look at Hannibal, what have you been up to? 3 goals, 3 assists in 4 games, and I believe most of them came in that first game. It was against Lazio. It's 4 goal contributions, so 2 assists, 2 goals. Not bad for your debut. At least in Serie A. I did play a few games in friendlies, I think. But, he's a good player, shall we say. And he's got 1 goal in his second game, nothing in his third game, and then an assist in his fourth game. So he's started very, very promisingly. Now, if you have enjoyed this episode, please do leave a like and subscribe to the channel, as it really helps me out. I hope to see you next time, but in the meantime, have a fantastic day.